Hey, I'm out in the field here down in the bottoms, doing a little checking. We planted some Pioneer seed beans. We had one pass left in the planter with their seed treatment and a different variety, and our seed treatment on another Pioneer variety, and just won't see any difference in stand count. So I noticed our Pioneer seed production we planted, it really came up, just every bean came up. I think it's just the conditions. But anyway, I'm trying to check out two varieties down there in the bottoms, two seed treatments. See if we got any difference in the stand. Just eyeballing it. Right now, I'm going to say no, there's not. This is what we've been planting, this variety here with our seed treatment. You see it's got a good stand. We only planted 125, I believe this was 130. And over in here is the Pioneer seed treatment, planted at 130. I don't believe there's any difference, but I'm going to do a stand count and get back with you. Well, after doing stand counts, I think maybe the Pioneer seed beans are maybe about 2,000 plants per acre more, 120, 122, a few spots thinner, but that's about what it shakes out at. So I don't think there's any difference in the treatment. I think it could just be a little bit of difference in the germination, of course, on the seed and the condition of the seed. Some of our seed we planted this year had several splits, which is going to hurt the stand. So what I've been able to diagnose in this field down the bottoms, I'm going to say is really no difference. If it is, it's insignificant. So I'm going over to Indiana to look at a place I use something else instead of seed treatment. Right now I'm in Indiana looking at some beans that I replanted. I really figured just spots in the field, that this one field was the worst. I thought it drowned out. I thought it drowned out again, but you can see right here, they are coming through. I think maybe the worst spots out in this field where replanted beans, they probably won't make it. They probably got drowned out because it rained that night again a lot. So it's just that one spell there. And I'm walking out here in a real bad spot here where they're very thin, but you can see if you look real close, not a big bunch of them, but there's I think gonna be enough in most of this to have a stand. I know there's one big hole out there, water set for a while, second time. Riser pipe was plugged off. It ain't gonna make it, but looks like most of it's going to, so that's good news. Won't have to replant. Looks like I missed a few spots out in here. I'll have to redo if it dries up quick enough. If it don't, I won't worry about it.
Well, good morning. We are back at it again. On our way to take David some more juice. We're up here in Robinson finally. We're ready to get on here to let everybody know what was going on. Got a little bit of sprinkles this morning, so hopefully it'll hold out and we can get done today or tomorrow.
Garrett's been doing maintenance on his sprayer. They got done spraying the corn yesterday, I think. David's gonna get done side dressing the corn today unless it gets rained out, which maybe not. Last chance to rain for a while. Have been on her last 2 days, been a little sick, and I've been taking the girls to a basketball shootout. Bregan fractured her fibula, so she didn't play, so her grade still went 5-1 though, so still pretty good considering, and Cena's went 6-0, so that's good. Went out this morning, tilled up where I'm gonna plant some sweet corn. My next to last sweet corn spot, I like spreading it out so it's ready a bunch. Now it's spreading the old changing 6th row over from beans to corn, where Dad just used it to replant a little bit last week around here since his planter's over in Indiana. Just use this in those little spots. I'm taking the soybean seed cups out, which is something we gotta do to switch over from beans to corn. This is where it goes in at the bottom of the box and beans and shoots it out the bottom. We've got these finger pickup here of corn. It goes in there and shoots it out the bottom like this. So got one more to go, put some corn in it and go plant some sweet corn. Give you a little crop report. I came over here to Indiana to check out these beans that had the Revline hopper throttle on them. Gonna do a little stand evaluations like Dad did. Figure we'd probably take different spots just because we're both doing them random, but I thought I'd show you how tall this corn is. Look at that. We're hip high. What is it, the 5th of June, 6th of June, something like that? Looking good. It wasn't the first planted, but I think this is our biggest.
Got an oil leak, so I just parked the truck, hopped in David's truck, and we'll go see if we can fix it. And if we can't fix it tonight, they will fix her in the morning if it's not raining.
All right, got my test done. Looks like it's misting up that way, but I did a test where in thin spots where they're having trouble coming up, and I did one spot where there wasn't hardly any beans, like there was a stand of 51,000 and of one and 36,000 others. So that really knocked my average down before you get judging our average. But there's thin spots here. There's places that need replanted. There's places with good stands, like I had one where, you know, we planted 120,000 soybeans units or soybeans per acre, and we got a stand at 107,000, so that's really good. So we got real good, real bad, in between. See, this is what we did. We treat our seed beans with Seed Shield, which is a fungicide insecticide. We also put a Preside inoculant on it from Fredesian. We did that on half. And then the other half, we use this Revline hopper throttle. It's like a graphite talc mix. That's also got micronutrients, and it's also got fungicide in it. So we split the planter half and half. Okay, we got 15-inch rows. I measured out 34 feet, 10 inches. So that's 1,000 an acre for one row. So I would count how many soybeans were in this row. Like this one doesn't, is how we do it. This one's Revline. See, we got some skips there, not there. Dig down, you'll find, I don't have my pocket knife out right now, but you dig that down and you'll find a rotten seed there, most likely, or one that didn't germ for whatever reason. Anyway, so you take your stand counts. We're evaluating stand counts. I did in 8 different spots. I did 2 where I did these 2 rows against them. I did 2 where I did those 2 rows against each other. Then I did 2 where there was those 2 rows against each other. In 8 different spots throughout the field. And the Revline won 5 out of those 8 comparisons. Our stuff won 3, or the stuff that we used won 3 out of the 8. And the Revline and those 5 wins averaged win by 7,000 more plants per acre. So 7 more little plants in that row. And the Seed Shield, where it won its 3 times, average winning by 6 plants, or 6,000 more plants per acre. Break that all down to the average. Revline won by 3,500 more plants per acre on average through all the 8 things. And these were all kinds of things. Like the worst spot, Revline had 51, where our stuff had 36. Best spot, Revline had 107, Ours had 91. There's a lot of them that were just real thin, which are borderline if you want to replant or not. They're up now, they're growing. Soybean likes sun, so they gotta be pretty bad now. They want to go back in there, which there are spots, some spots that will, some spots we definitely won't, some spots, you know, go one way or the other. A lot of 72 to 68 win, 81, 77, but overall, the Rev line averaged 68,000 plants per acre when we plant 120, so you know, not very good average. These holes really drag them down. The overall field's better than that, but just I wanted to test the spots where it didn't come up very good. The spots where it did come up, I did test one of those. The Rev line was a little bit better, but I was more concerned with the problem areas. So it averaged 68,000 plants per acre, and the seed shield with the Preside averaged 64,500. So take that with what you will. I take it as we're gonna try a little bit more of that hopper throttle stuff and find out what we find next year. And we will also check the yield, see how that turns out, because end of the day, that's what matters. But stand count goes a long way to yield and yield potential.
Okay, it's planted May 12th when it's planted. Not real cold conditions, but a lot of rain. So makes you think, if it works here, wouldn't it work anytime? So what this will, most time this kind of stuff you tried, it don't work. But this appeared to have worked. So we'll see in the end when we harvest how it comes out. But I'm pretty sure we got a better stand. It really surprises me. But anyway, that's the way it come out. Gotta tell it like it is.
Well, just checking in on this field. You can see there's spots that are a little behind because of water, but this right here is what we call field 2. It's extremely wet. We never get good stands here, but it you know, there's some spots a little behind. That's a perfect stand, so happy about that. This is one where we put in several ditches with the Crary ditcher, and you made one like, man, I want to say 16 or 18 inches deep to get to a spot so we could drain a spot never been drained before, and I think it made a big difference. So it's satisfying to see that when you try something and it works.
I am having all kinds of fun. I am, however, about done side dressing, about done putting on nitrogen. I got about 70 acres to go, I guess. But I got stopped the other day, had a small hydraulic leak under the cab. Of course, it's not easy where, okay, so here's the hose in question. Got a small pinhole. See oil here everywhere, or if you can't tell, it is oily. So anyway, notice that, smelled something that didn't smell right. Seen what I thought was dust to start with coming out from the side, but it turned out just a mist of oil. Stopped before anything, even before the oil got too low, everything started yelling at me. So this is a sensor pressure. How did he did? Brian at H&R down at Princeton explained it to me. Tells the pump how much pressure is putting to these three stack of outlets. Okay, it's this line right here. So that feeds all the way back through here. That one's easy to take off, as you can tell. That won't take no time. So I can't use those 3 outlets. I really need 4. So temporarily I ran with just 3 outlets, plugging and unplugging hoses, but it's rained, so now trying to get this baby off here. But it is way up in front of this. There's a pump right, I can't even get my hand in there. There's a pump right up here. Hose connects up in front of it. No easy way to get to it. So Brian has advised me to take this sway bar. We're gonna take this sway bar off. Then we're gonna take these shocks off the back of the cab and try to tilt the cab forward just a little with the fork truck, so that maybe I can get in through here to get on the front side of that pump to get at least one hand or arm up there to get that hose loose. So fun, oily times. So hopefully between today and tomorrow I can get that fixed, and then maybe finish side dressing. I don't know if we'll get it done this weekend or not, because it rained 7/10 up here at Robinson where I'm at. I don't know, Sunday or maybe Monday for sure.
Out walking some beans. I had to get some there's some tree limbs that blew from a storm, blew in the beans, so I threw them back out. Decided to go out here and walk them. These are walked a little bit. Knee spray. Garrett's starting to spray beans now, so if he heck, well, I don't think he's done this field. I'm sure he'll be getting this field before long. This is for our first time planting March soybeans. They look good. I mean, they're not knee high, but they're mid shin high. Let's see. They're flowering. I seen this one. Yep, this one does. Got a few pods forming down the lower nodes. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 nodes high. Yeah. These look good. Wish we had more of them. The early ones, like always, probably be better than the later ones. Look good. All right, I've been spending my day where we call, on our Indiana farm, the original farm over here, we call it Field 2. It's got this irrigation / tillage system underneath the ground. There's 3-inch tiles every 15 feet everywhere. And it's got these risers right here. And what we gotta do is we take this out. See that? That's draining. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. See, that's upstream. That's downstream to the ditch. Got this little extension here. I'm gonna put this on that side. So that makes that higher than where it's got that flow above this to get out. And plus, we also have this water pipe here. That's gonna pour water into it to fill this up. The theory is that should shoot water out that way to work as irrigation, which it works okay in part of the field. The sandier soil works good, the heavier stuff don't do as good. This is the field that we ran a lot of prairie ditches in, because even though we got all this tile, we can't put riser pipes to get the surface water off, because, you know, we're also trying to shoot water out of it. That wouldn't work good. So we ran the prairie ditch all over, and you can tell there's a thin spot here. There's a couple of these, but most of it's got a perfect stand, and this usually looks embarrassing, but this year it looks pretty good. So prairie ditching was definitely worth the time this year, or this fall. So I'm gonna take finish this job. I'm gonna take my stick here, put a little grease on it, rub her down. I got a little, there's a little O-ring that I'll fit in my extension, and also try to put a little bit on there. I don't know if it does much good or not. Take this off of here where we just store it so it drains, so it runs the water out better. On there a little tight sometimes. All right. Get that lined up halfway straight. Put the size 14 on. All right. Eventually we got a pump up there. It's got a water line goes all around. We'll turn this on to fill that up to where it fills and overflow out into that. Yeah. When we fire up, we'll make sure I got all those in, make sure they're not leaking. I know I have one of these that I've seen that's broke. I won't get to that today. Maybe tomorrow I'm gonna dig that up, fix that. That might be a little bit of a job before we can turn them on. Not ready to turn them on yet, but getting ready to get ready.
So we got the new hose in. I actually got it on. I gotta tighten her up a little bit, but got the forklift help pick up the cab just a little. It only goes up till we bottom out here unless you take this bolt out, but that gives you an extra 3 or 4 inches of room in here to work, which was not a whole lot of room, and that line was way up. Let's see, point here or not. Now, I'm not gonna get very good video of this, but oh yeah, there we go. Way up that line there. And I could not get my hand up in there. I could not get my hand in there to start that or anything, so I had to use a crow's foot here. And I ended up wrapping tape around this and then cutting out this side here so that this back side would help push the nut onto the threads of the fitting to get it started. That was a little bit of a pain, but we got it. We lucked out and got it started. I think that helped me, and maybe it didn't. Maybe I just lucked out. I'd rather be lucky than good. So we'll tighten everything up, start her up, make sure we ain't got any leaks. All right, finally got her all done. Finally, had a little easier time putting the hose on than what I thought. What was more of a bear was getting this have a sway bar for the cab put back in. Okay, so this sway bar here, getting this back in. Of course, one side's always easy, but getting this last side in here. Okay, so it was in this direction with the bolt head on the inside in here. And I could get it started, but I could not get it pulled in or pushed in by hand and prying and everything. Wound up, anyway, using a ratchet and turning it in. Not always what you want to do, but what you had to do. But did that because I had to drive the bolt out the last time. So I could have put the bolt in from this side, drove the bolt in. Not necessarily what you want to do again, but if you want to get it out in the future, it'll be easier in the future with the bolt head on the inside and being able to drive it back toward the front of the cab, as we are at the back of the cab here. Anyway, so we're all together, no leaks on the hose and the fittings where we've coupled together. So finally, all right, done. Now I just got to wait for the ground to dry up a little bit to finish side dressing, which is only 65, maybe 70 acres. But we'll be done hopefully in a day or two, or maybe on Monday. We'll see.
Back in Indiana, I haven't made it to underground irrigation stuff because I'm down. Well, we call this set aside because it was a set aside field. I mean, the river's just right there. Those trees weren't there, you'd be staring at it. We've always farmed up there on the hill. Anyways, started planting this 3 years ago. This is our first corn crop on it, and got a couple trees down. So George got this little baby Milwaukee chainsaw. He's out on the small ones, and he's a regular steel over there where it gets bigger. And I'm just gonna try and move that by hand. It's just gonna, and then that little thing won't be much. Just gonna take a little bit of time. See how this thing does. Good for that. I don't know what that is. 2 inches maybe. All right, we're getting there. All those cut with the little dude, and why not? Let's see if we can do it. About 6 to 8 inch. Yeah, he'll get it. There. I wanted the longer blade been better, but she took her down fine. All right, back at the field 2 irrigation now. This is the one that's got the PVC pipe broke right here, okay? There's our water in right here. Well, so let's see those. Goes down right there. That's broke, so we're going to have to cut that off somewhere and put a collar on it. And it's right where it's got a 90-degree elbow going out, so I'm going to have to get a new elbow and collar it out there somewhere, I guess. Have to dig it up, check it out. Oh, this goes into this. Screws into our valve, and that's how much we regulate how much water goes into this stand. Start digging around. It's going to take forever. I can pull this in 2 get closer, and then they're gonna have to be all the way down on the outside. I went all the way around it, at least as deep where this uncouples. Oh, the backhoe, but I do have a bulldozer, so. This ditch bank Dad dug out at some point, I need to smooth that a little bit. I'll bring a bulldozer over and smooth that out a little bit, and then try and get down to where I don't have to shovel quite as much. Make it a little faster. Almost no interstate, but it's at least passable now. I let that dry out a little bit and get her smoother another time, but I started to peel that back. I did one swipe with the bulldozer, and just gonna go back and get the backhoe Monday, get that dug up, do it right. It's kind of deep, and that dirt is really thick and sticky. I mean, yeah, fun digging.